Welcome back to the Volunteer Newscast. I'm one of your hosts, Ava Boggs, and I hope everyone enjoyed their 3-day weekend. Starting off with sports, we got a lot going on this week. First of all, on Tuesday, varsity softball has an away game against Claiborne. That's going to be at 5:30. There's also a soccer match at Cherokee at 6 p.m. On Thursday, there will be a track meet here at Volunteer at 4 o'clock, a softball game against Granger, also here at 5:30, a tennis match at Dobbins-Bennett at 4, a soccer match at Daniel Boone at 6, and a baseball game away against Westridge. From Friday to Sunday, there will be a softball match against Eastman Turney. And now we will have a word from our sponsors.
Electrical work is really hard.
Man, don't even worry about it. I got this.
Whatever you say, man. Oh my God! Are you okay? Well, Cooper, looks like me and you are going to find some more people to do some electrical work for us. I sure hope they can help. I wonder how many blondes it takes to screw in a light bulb. But that doesn't matter when you have Trinity Electric. Trinity Electric is just the best, but I'm sure you knew that by now. They're one of the greatest groups for electricians around here. If you have a problem with electrical stuff, they're the people to go to. Somebody like me can't understand that stuff, but they can, because they're the greats around here. You can contact them by their phone number, 423-276-8390. You can go to their place of work, which I have right here, or you can contact them by email. Thank you so much, Trinity Electric. Now, let's go check up on Cooper. I'm here at the hospital to check up on Cooper. I just hope he's okay. Thank God, Cooper, you're okay. They cured you from skeleton disease.
If only Trinity Electric was there.
You have a point, Cooper.
I'm Parker, Cutie Cowboy Starnes, and everybody knows that I'm the most country boy this side of the Mississippi. But even me ain't as country as this place. Oh my goodness, Freddy's here. This place is so good even Freddy eats here. Sounds like the right place for me and all volunteer students. And now let's take a look at some of the most popular dishes from this great establishment. You have this hamburger with some potato wedges, these chicken tenders with some delicious fries and coleslaw, some soup beans, and some potatoes. Now that looks really good. Freddie, I'm gonna need that chicken tender.
All right, guys, this is this week's Student of the Week. I'm Skylar Jenkins, and this is
Ethan Mullins.
And he's the Student of the Week for the academics. So I have a few questions for you today, Ethan.
Of course, yeah.
And I just want to ask, what do you think is your biggest motivation for being so smart?
I mean, I think that by being smart and increasing my brain size, I can learn how to fit more rocks in my mouth.
Yeah, well, that's a very interesting goal you have there. So, yeah.
It is.
What would you say is your biggest accomplishment thus far in your academic career?
Last year during junior year, this was at the very start of the school year, right? Mm-hmm. I managed to fit 36 large rocks in my mouth.
That's impressive. How did you do that?
Well, I did it by becoming really smart and learning how to expand my mouth. Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Yeah. How they have chipmunks have extra cheek space?
So you know how Theodore eats a lot?
Yeah.
Well, that's me with rocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever swallowed a rock accidentally?
I always swallow them. I said that I eat rocks. Do you think I'm just gonna leave them there and let them pop rocks? I swallow them things, dude.
My bad.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Just don't mess up again.
It's just a miscommunication.
Just don't mess up again.
Yeah, I will. So what are your goals for the future, would you say?
Take a guess.
Eat more rocks.
Why would I do that? No, I want to become president of the United States.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you plan to do to get there, to become Mr. President? Where do you plan to go to college? What do you plan on doing with your career? Because you have to have a career before you become the president.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I sort of assumed that fear could sort of hard carry me there. If you walked in front of Congress or just like the judicial branch, or even the executive branch, if I walked in front of Joe Biden right now and just feel like 48 rocks in my mouth, like, what's he gonna do? Just not let me be president? That's awesome. Unless he'd be like terrified. Like,
Well, what if someone walks up and they like fit 50 rocks in their mouth? What would you do then? Would they
well,
have
no,
to be
because that's too
president?
high. No one else can do that except me.
But like, what if they do though?
Out of the question.
Okay.
Out of the question.
All right. Thank you.
Impossible.
Do you have like any tips for academics or fitting rocks in your mouth?
I have a few tips for academics, a lot of tips for eating rocks.
Okay, let's hear them.
For academics, I mean, fun fact, I'm like really stupid. I just so happen to like work hard on what I do, and you can genuinely do just about whatever you want, achieve just about whatever you want, as long as you're willing to put the effort forth.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the advice that I have on academics.
All
but
right.
as far as rock eating
Yeah,
goes,
the important stuff.
yeah, like I said, as your brain gets bigger, so does like the space that you can fit in your mouth. And so, like you know,
Is that like the positive correlation right there?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a positive correlation. So like,
Yeah.
you have brain size as your like
Yeah,
X
like-
value.
like-
yeah,
Yeah.
your Y
And then it
value
just goes right up.
is your
yeah.
mouth size.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, as you become smarter,
Mhm.
your mouth size also goes up.
Yeah.
And so eventually, by the time I turn 60, you know what Mount Rushmore is? I'm eating that whole thing, dude. George Washington's gonna taste so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was really enlightening, genuinely.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the great tips, including
You're welcome.
the positive correlation between your mouth size and your brain size. And thank you for this interview, Ethan.
Yeah.
And we're back again with this week's Student of the Week for Athletics, Mr.
I'm Roman Brigade Metz.
All right. And I got a few questions to ask you today, Roman. The first thing I want to ask and get out of the way is, what do you think drives you the most? You're a runner, right? And that's got to be pretty hard on your body, pretty hard mentally too. What do you think drives you? What's your biggest motivation?
My coaches are one of my biggest motivation, keeping me doing my work and keeping me motivated and keeping me out there.
Mhm.
My parents helping me keep on doing my work and stuff
Mhm.
and not missing a day.
Mhm.
And just snobby people, honestly. That's the biggest motivation, is when someone comes up to you and tells you you can't do it,
Mhm.
and then you go out and do it.
Oh, yeah.
And you
Got to
get
prove them wrong.
proven wrong, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment within running thus far?
Hopefully it will be this this spring when we go to state. But my biggest accomplishment that I've done would probably be back in my middle school when I got to go to state and win.
Okay. What is your running times like?
The 800 is a pretty good time, but I'm working on my 16 and my 3200. 10:05 in the 32 and
Mhm.
4:34, 4:36 in the 16.
How many laps around the track is your 800 and 1600? Because I'm not a runner. I really don't know.
800 is 2 laps,
Okay.
and 1600 is 4.
Isn't 4 a mile?
4 is, well, it's a little less than a
A
mile.
little less. Okay, gotcha. I'm not a runner. So, what are your goals for the future within like running and things like that?
Main goal is to get me a nice scholarship so my parents don't have to pay as much.
Yeah.
And get me a good thing to do in college, so I'm not just playing on studying and stuff. I can actually go out and make some friends.
Yeah, that's a really good goal. College is always a good place to set your sights. So, speaking of, what do you plan on, like, where do you plan on going to college, or what do you plan on doing with your career?
Well, I've done a visit to Milligan. That was a pretty good place. Very nice people. I've gotten some letters from Naval Academy, and I'm looking into that right now. I gotta get a nice ACT to go down there, and gotta fill out a bunch of stuff.
Mhm.
All right. So do you have any tips or tricks for new runners or people who want to get into running or anything like that?
Don't run on concrete a lot. Destroys your shins and your knees. And try and get on a bouncy track, not one that's made out of concrete. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, that's the main thing is know when your limits are and try not to overdo it. Because if you overdo it and overstep it, it can cost you.
It can have the opposite effect of what you want. My mom's a runner. I know that much. All right. Thank you so much for this interview, and thank you guys. And we're back with the last interview with Mr.
Gabe Burns.
For the Student of the Week of the Arts. So, Gabe, just get it out of the way. What do you think your biggest motivation is for your YouTube channel and for jazz?
My biggest motivation is probably leaving East Tennessee, getting out of here.
Yeah.
Probably my biggest.
That's a good one. I personally also would like to move up a little bit. So what do you think is your biggest accomplishment with either your channel or your music?
This year I placed second in East Tennessee for jazz alto sax, and I'm entering a competition to eat dirt here in about a month.
Yeah, you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I mean I've put in the work, the hours, the reps. I mean, it's in the bag, it's easy.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So what are your goals for the future going forward with either one?
Well, I'll talk about the most important. Next month, my dirt eating competition. Of course, I put in the work. If I don't get first, I will be suing whoever I need to be suing.
All right.
And then my goals for the jazz is to go to New York for school.
Okay.
And get my jazz performance degree.
All right, that's very ambitious,
Yeah.
very good dreams. So what kind of college do you plan to go to in New York, or?
It's called the New School of Jazz in New York.
Okay, so it's a school dedicated just to jazz. Yeah,
yeah.
that's great. And you want to make jazz your career, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If dirt eating doesn't work out.
Yeah. Well, if I can do both at the same time, it'd be perfect. But I think I want to plan on a cruise ship for a while.
Yeah.
After college.
Oh,
and
a cruise ship would be nice.
Figure it out what I want
Get
to
to
do.
go wherever you want, kind of thing. That'd be so fun. So do you have any tips with people who might be starting their musical career or anything like that?
I have tips on people that are getting into the dirt eating industry here.
We'd love to hear them.
Really, the thing about the dirt eating competition is it's really about the type of dirt you get. You're not going to want to go to the Walmarts and the Home Depots of the world. And the ones in the can, they don't go in easy and they don't come out easy.
Yeah.
So really, I like to go all natural. Shovel.
Yeah.
My main. That's big spoon.
Yeah.
It's really big.
Yeah. Where do you get it? Like just your backyard, or is there a certain
anywhere
place
there's
dedicated?
dirt. Mud doesn't.
No.
If it's wet, you know.
It's not appetizing.
Yeah. And then for music, just practice, I guess.
Practice, yeah. Practice makes perfect for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you very much for this interview, and thank you guys for watching.